to the best family on YouTube. It is late. It is 2 in the morning as of recording. It is Monday. So, just to back up a little bit, today is Sunday. Okay, it is early Monday. A lot is on my mind. Okay. Today was kind of cool. I mean, if you don't know, I need to stop yawning. First off, what I do is I do vlogs and I do gaming. I'm a YouTuber. Okay, for the new people who aren't around, that's what I do. Okay. As well as I am basically a celebrity. So, this one girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're a YouTuber." I'm like, "Yeah, I want a photo, want an autograph." She's like, "Nah, I just want to have some time." And she started asking questions. I was like, "Okay, that's a little weird. People don't usually ask questions." And she's like, "How did you figure out you wanted to be a YouTuber?" I was like, "Well, to be honest with you, the way I started out is just by making videos and just by making just regular old content." And she's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. How long you been doing it?" I'm like, "Gaming, I've been doing it for 7 years. Vlogging, I've been doing it for almost a year." And she just goes, "Huh, interesting." I was like, "Why? What's up?" And she's like, "Well, I'm thinking about starting my own channel." I was like, "Well, I'll give you 3 questions." And she's like, "What 3?" I was like, "What kind of content are you gonna make?" Oh. And I was like, "Okay, if you don't know that kind of content, what's your niche?" I don't know. "What kind of thumbnails you're gonna make?" I don't know. I was like, "You're not ready to become a YouTuber." And she's like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "Because if you can't answer that 3 questions, you're not ready." And she's just like, "Well, I want to." I was like, "I know you want to, but as long as you answer those 3 questions, you're not going to get anywhere in life." Because that's why I had to answer those. Like, the same questions, I had to ask those to get anywhere in life. I asked the same questions, I answered them. And I was like, "Huh, that's kind of interesting," because I had the same questions. My boy gave those same questions to me. I answered him, and he's like, "Okay, you're full blown ready to make content." I was like, "Well, duh, I've been doing this already." And she's like, "Well, what do you suggest?" I was like, "Just push record, see what happens. I mean, you don't blow up in the first day, but you're not Mr. Beast, you're not Mr. whoever you want to call it." I need to stop yawning. But I was also telling her, I was like, honestly, if you can't answer those 3 questions, I don't think you'll make it. And she goes, "Well, I want to." I was like, "I know you want to, but just ask the questions." And she goes, "One more question just to take up your time." I was like, "Yeah, sure, anything." She goes, "What is it like being a YouTuber? Is it different?" She's like, "I've never heard anybody talk about it." I was like, "Well, it is different. You hear stories, you hear people, you hear many stories or many things about people. You don't." And I was telling her my story, and she's like, "That's crazy. Your story is different than everyone else's." Like, yeah, it is. I live life a little differently than most people. I'm a rarity, if you will. I'm rare. And she just goes, "The fact that you know how to talk to women the way you do, the fact that you know how to talk to me and not be scared." I was like, "Well, that's because I have a sister and a mother, and that's what I've been raised upon." And she just goes, "That's interesting." I was like, "Yeah, it is. It's really..." Okay, I'm going to edit every time I yawn, okay? I'm going to edit it out. So, as well as, let's say, she was asking other questions. She's like, "Well, I want to know your life." So I told her my life, the kind of the gist of my life. And she's like, "Interesting." I was like, "What's so interesting about it?" She's like, "You lived life a whole lot differently than me." I was like, "Well, yeah. Going to a public school showed you the kind of person that are around. It showed you the kind of people that are out there in the world. And it shows you what kind of people are out there. And it shows you life. It fast-tracked my life going to a public school, but do I recommend it? No. When I went to high school, there was majority of it was men, and then by the time I graduated, over 15, I think it was like 5 or 10% of men committed suicide because they're getting bullied or whatever the heck it was. Stabbings once a week, gun shootings twice a week, whatever it is. But that's what you get for being in a gang-related school. I mean, the one worst school in all of my town. But that is what it is, and I came out on top. You know, I survived it. I lived it. I understand it. I don't want to go back, but it made me who I am today. But that's just a little bit of me, and at the end of it, I was like, you know what? It's my life. It's all that matters. I will see you guys in the next one. It is late. I gotta edit this out. I gotta put it up for you guys. So I'm going to see you guys in the next one, no matter what you're doing. I post every Monday at 11 a.m. I'll see you guys in the next video.